Okay, 7:02, meeting called to order. Everybody, can you see who's here, Grace, or do we have to state our names?
Yeah, no, I've got Crystal, Beth, Jordan, Pam, Lori, Lee, and Jim, and the public, Ray Morgan. So
Okay, so no. So Jim, you're officially seated. 'Cause, we need you for our quorum. Okay, so minutes. Anyone read them, and is there a motion to approve them from last meeting?
Motion to approve, Pam.
I have a question about the minutes. There's just one tiny little sentence that says that a letter would be sent out to the entire group regarding the Eversource updates, etc. And I know that there was some subsequent discussion about how that would go, but I don't know that the entire group got that letter.
it was posted so people could see it, and the letter did go out to all of the people who would be
Excellent.
affected.
Excellent. So Grace, we're talking about the one that I sent out, because I think that's what the minutes say.
So I sent out a letter.
Yeah.
Right?
Did
Right,
you?
It
and
wasn't the
cut-
one that I sent,
CC'd you all on that,
right?
and mailed out like, yeah. I forget the exact date. I can look.
Yeah, that was a different letter. I don't know
What
if
letter?
everybody got the one.
Well, I did not make a difference. I just was assuming we were talking about the letter to send out to all of the people that were involved. And that was an extension of and after your letter was read. So that's where the I mean, all the members got a copy of your letter by email. We all saw it. But then the letter that went out was the one that Beth had written up. And it's dated November 15th.
Thanks. Lori, I'm confused about what letter you're talking about.
Right, I don't think you got it. I didn't send it to everybody. It was what we discussed in the meeting. So I don't know that everybody actually got it. Minutes say that the minutes say that they did get it. And I know that it's confusing because there's two letters really that we're talking about. The letter that I wrote was a draft, and it was intended for to be sent to Eversource.
Oh, I did get that because I asked her
Okay, excellent.
to me and she forwarded it.
Excellent.
And
Great.
it was helpful in coming
Excellent.
up with points. for
Very
the
good.
letter. Okay.
Perfect. Grace, it's perfect then. I don't have any objection. Just clarifying. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
So
great.
what I've got is Pam approving. I need a second.
Okay, so Laurie seconds. Oh, Jim has a question. Unmute, Jim. I can't hear you, Jim.
Sorry about that. I was just trying to second it.
Oh,
Okay.
Perfect.
okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Public participation. Where'd he go?
There's Pam's phone. That might be.
Oh,
might be Pam.
Pam's phone. So who's at Pam's phone, did you say?
What about my phone? I'm on an iPad.
No, the other
No,
Pam.
there's
Oh,
a different
sorry.
Pam.
So Pam's phone, public, do you have anything, or are you just listening in on the meeting? And you can unmute. Okay. Pam's phone is listening in on us. Okay, treasurer's report. Great.
Okay, yes, we have $1,754 in our budget, and the special is 21.61 and 22 cents. And we still haven't gotten the, is it, hold on, wait. We paid the $1,000 to ECCD. I have not gotten that yet. And I have not heard back from the treasurer or inland wetlands. We split dues for Kakiwik with them, and I haven't heard anything as yet. It's just for your information. I have been checking.
So do you know, are we still members of Kakiwik? Did something go out from the town?
It's supposed to, and when I spoke to Diane, she said last year it went out in December.
Okay. Okay.
So, as I said, I will
Okay.
obviously
good.
aggravate her yet again and find
Yeah.
out.
Well, if we pay for 12 months, we're good till next month.
Yes.
Okay, chairperson.
I have a question for
Yes.
the treasurer stuff. Or who
Sure.
would I give receipts to for the postage expenses for the letter?
Me, Grace.
Should I mail it to you at your home address, which I have, or at the town?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Either way is good. Or you can leave it on the front steps, seeing as I pass your house just about every day of my life.
It's a small town. All right.
Yeah, really.
Okay, any other questions for the treasurer? Nothing to report, chairman's report. Any communications? They're down at town hall?
Yeah, the only thing, well, I picked them up last week, were two of the letters actually were returned for bad addresses. Letters that went out to, all the people. They
Okay.
moved in no forwarding address, so I guess they're not gonna be
That's
too
better than I
concerned.
thought, actually.
Yeah.
Well, there could have been more, but as I said, I was at downtown hall on Monday, and that was all that was there. So I wasn't looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Okay, anyone else have any communications? So moving on to old business. Pam, do you want to tell us about the road, the town road paving situation? Or do you want me to just read what Jean said?
Are you speaking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I would say just read what Jean had to say, or even
Okay.
Beth's letter. Okay.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go get Jean's letter. Okay, so DRC report. Pam and Jean met to review the Woodstock Highway Department proposal, the double chip seal portions of Center Cemetery Road, and alter drainage near the access to the cemetery. They both drove the road independently prior to the meeting. They submitted their report to P&Z, and they attended the public meeting to answer questions from P&Z members. No decision was made that evening, and the public hearing was continued. At the meeting's continuance, the meeting's minutes show that some of our talking points were repeated. Additional questions lingered, and the public hearing was again continued. I can tell you this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can I just add, it was my impression that Jeff Gordon was accepting I forget his name, the guy who does the plowing.
Navarro, John
Yeah.
Navarro.
Yeah, that he was accepting his point of view and that they're probably going to pave.
So there was a P&Z meeting. I got the minutes from Thursday, the 17th, and it looks like it was a contentious meeting. And there were boy, there were like a dozen people, probably over a dozen people speaking and rendering opinions.
Yeah.
And they actually, again, continued the meeting with a public hearing December 1st. So no, I mean, it looked like more people were opposed to it. So there still has not been a decision made. Any questions or comments on that? And then there was, okay, and the second thing about Eversource, but I'll say that for Eversource. Okay, Crystal, anything open space pertaining?
Not meet in November.
Okay. The P and Z report I just mentioned. Grace, Ag Commission.
No, nothing that would concern us.
Okay, anyone have anything about stewardship report? I guess it's cold out, so we're probably not doing much.
Yeah,
about
really.
that. Okay, pollinator pathway. Jean sent a note on that. Let me get that. Okay. Jean gave a presentation to the Quiet Corner Garden Club about the regional efforts to create an intermunicipal pollinator pathway in Northeast Connecticut at the QCGC annual meeting. So we got that noted. Anyone have any comments or questions on pollinator pathway? Okay, moving on to Sustainable Connecticut. Crystal, anything new there?
No, I'm looking at their calendar for December. They don't have very much listed. They do have a workshop on December 7th about trail mapping for Connecticut Trail Finder with Avenza Maps. I don't know if that's anything that anyone who does any of the stewardship would be interested in doing.
Any questions for Crystal? Okay, then back to Eversource. Let me just read in Jean's note. Hang on. So Jean said she plans to be at the November 30th meeting. Thanks to Beth for taking the lead on this and Jim for putting together the mailing list. Jean put together a Facebook post on the Conservation Commission page and shared it on Woodstock Loud and Proud. And note that Winnie picked it up and shared it on their Facebook page with comments from Eversource. So anyone else have anything to bring up about Eversource? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I did volunteer to take the lead on that since Jean was going on vacation, but I don't really know. I wasn't at the last meeting when we planned this thing, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing. So I wanted to talk about it with everybody. You know, what's our goal for this event? Yeah. Can someone share what the original thoughts were so I can make sure I'm on the right track?
So Beth, I don't know if it'll help you, but on the town website on the minutes, there's the link to watch the last video of the meeting.
Yeah, and I did. So yeah, I just want to make sure like there wasn't any new developments, but it seemed like the goal was just to share what Eversource shared with us, and then
I think there were some talking points about that. I think Lori had mentioned some in her letter.
okay.
And some of the stuff we had heard from the people from Reddington, which of course was relatively negative, but they were hoping that we could share that at our meeting on the 30th, with the public so that they have some idea of just what's going on.
So
Okay. Oh,
I
we
wasn't at
watch those
last,
then.
I wasn't at the last month's meeting either, so who exactly is gonna be there on the 30th?
So in that letter I sent out, we invited people, and I guess now it's on the Facebook, so anyone, it's not open to the public. But there went to the folks on Route 171 and Child Hill that are in the areas that are gonna be cut. Inviting them, but I guess anyone could come since it's on the Facebook.
So who's gonna stand up in front and present?
Me,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Is Eversource invited, or is it just for us to give our side of it?
Yeah, so that I guess not. So it's
No,
just,
we explicitly did not want Eversource to be invited.
Well,
Okay.
it is an
Meeting.
open meeting, so they
Why?
could show up if they wanted to.
Right, exactly. They can, as members of the public. But there was discussion at the last meeting about whether they might be able to provide input. And it didn't seem to be the correct forum for Eversource to be providing input. They have a very positive perception and talking points for the general public, but we wanted to provide the other talking points that are noted in these different letters. And
Okay.
those are
Okay.
not talking points necessarily that Eversource would be providing.
and are we wanting to use this forum to collect questions and comments from the public as well? Or is this just us sharing info? Was that discussed? Like,
Since what was discussed was that the Eversource sustainability project is supposed to be entirely voluntary.
Yes.
So anybody that they approach on Route 171, 169, et cetera, is really in a position where they will be asked by Eversource to agree to do this cutting. And the purpose of the forum on the 30th is to try to encourage people to understand what the negative environmental impact will be if they say yes to Eversource's proposal, and
Okay.
to provide them with talking points and various considerations just in case they've not thought of it, so that they'll be prepared when Eversource comes to offer their yes or no based on feedback perhaps that they've learned from what we have to present.
all right,
Not
that's very
everybody is
helpful, Lori.
aware.
Thank you.
Yeah, not everybody's aware of what negative environmental impact there might be. And when we had that last meeting, the other team came in. Grace, what was their name? That other team that came?
Reddington,
Yeah,
it's the
Reddington.
town of Reddington.
What they shared was that Eversource acted in a very authoritative, I don't think there's a better word than pushy sort of way, and didn't necessarily present it to customers as if they had a choice. They presented it in a way that would make people feel guilty for saying no. And they didn't know how else they could have improved saying no to Eversource so that the negative impact would not be felt in their town. And they hoped that we would actually have a different approach, something that would be more effective, something that would provide a very strong stand if in fact we felt as a conservation group that this is not acceptable, that our stance would be more secure than theirs was, and that we wouldn't be dismissed.
Yes, that's it.
Or were the selectmen invited, or, you know?
I don't know.
So unless they happen to live on one of those
There
sections.
you go.
Okay.
It sure would be
But-
great if the selectmen could go to hear to hear what, these talking points.
I
Do they,
I can
do
certainly
they
reach
know
out
that
to
there's a
them.
meeting?
I know Jay knows that there's a meeting. It might have been listed as an announcement on one of their meetings. I'm checking now, but I don't know that the Conservation Commission sent an invitation or an email to them.
I'm happy to do that tonight and just send an email.
Okay, good.
Just reminding them, yeah.
We,
let them know.
that was one of the things that was mentioned at the last meeting too, is that Eversource initially had a meeting with the selectmen.
Right.
But we didn't provide that interaction and follow-up with the selectmen to provide our particular point of view and
Right.
what our concerns were. So the selectmen never had a chance to hear what we had to say.
Right. So if they're at this meeting, it'll be beneficial to us.
This, if I get this, the question really is between Eversource and individual people in the
Yes.
area, right? It's not really a town question, but maybe I guess sounds like a good way to present this would be to help people make informed decisions by having all the facts and all the considerations, including the environmental effects, right? And that maybe that's the approach we should take.
Yeah.
Well, who were the
Yes,
first?
and I think that the town does have a say in those town right of way areas. And
Yeah.
also, you know, it'd be good for the selectmen to know where.
Yeah.
Where
Who
we
were
all
the first
stand.
people that Eversource approached?
It was the selectmen.
Yeah. So.
Yes, and in fact, they do have to have buy-in, I guess, from
Right.
the selectmen. It's, I believe at one of these other towns, they tried to immediately oppose the sustainability project. And that didn't work either, but they did think that coming at a higher level from selectmen, it might make a difference. It turns out that it seems it didn't. But they're hopeful that whatever approach we try might be effective.
So I live on one of these proposed sections and I have not received a word from Eversource. Has anyone else, I don't know if anyone else does, or if anyone's heard of anyone that has gotten notified by Eversource?
I don't
that-
think anybody has. I think these were feelers that were put out originally. Now, supposedly Reddington said that they were informed by Eversource. But they had also gone out to private property owners already in Reddington. And you know, it's a little on the fuzzy side as to exactly when it was said, and the fact that what Reddington wanted us to know was that Pura, which is an organization that technically has some oversight with Eversource, is not going to be involved in this and really is not going to say anything about it. So it's basically falling on the laps of organizations such as ourselves to try and get this point across to people that this is being done, being considered. And if you, again, you know, as you wrote in your letter, you know, you have 10 days to say yes or no. And if you don't contact them, tough, you know, they'll assume you like the project to move forward. So again, I think just letting people know, as such as yourself, you know, you haven't gotten any notice. And it's like, if you don't pay attention to this stuff, when a guy comes to your door, and I mean, you've had them, we've all had them. It's like, oh, hi, we're going to clean up some of these trees. you know, just so that you don't lose power, that's fine. But when you start talking about taking them down and taking them down 30 feet into the woods, yes, this is an issue. And I think you are very right, Beth, in that the selectmen need to know about this, and because so much of the property is along the highway, it's not privately owned.
Yeah, also when I did the mailing, I noticed like there's some properties that, like there's one that belongs to Wyndham Land Trust. Like, how do you put a hanger on that door, right? You can't.
Exactly.
So, I'm gonna try to
those
reach
are-
out to Eversource to get some kind of timeline from them. I've sent a couple emails and I haven't heard back, but
No, they're
I know
not responding.
people are
Uh,
gonna be asking us, when's this gonna happen? And
Mhm.
according to, I think what they said originally when they talked to us, it should have been happening by now, but yeah, so I'll try. Probably won't hear back, right? Like you're saying. But
Yeah,
Apparently, they have not in the past responded when people have reached out to ask questions, and that's across the board regarding this project, almost by everyone. The hang tags turn out to be a really important issue too. If you just like you said, Grace, if you don't respond within 10 days, then they assume that you are in agreement. And the reality is these door tags can blow away. There's all kinds of things that can happen. I only got mine for a different project, but this is when I had a chance to talk to Eversource about the sustainability project. But that door tag was on the ground. And it could have easily blown away. This can happen to anybody, but that's not relevant to them. And on the door tag, it says you have 10 days to respond.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll assume you mean yes. One of the other points that's really, I think, quite important is they did also mention that the Pura noted that there had not been an environmental impact study regarding this project, and Eversource has not indicated that they plan to do an environmental impact study. But that is one place where the selectmen could propose that something such as that be done. The environmental impact is destined to be huge for such a project as this.
exactly.
And Eversource has not indicated that they plan to do that at all. And that's one particular area that it's possible the selectmen could help. An individual homeowner who's getting a hang tag and talking to Eversource isn't going to have any impact if they ask for an environmental study.
No,
okay,
I
so
agree.
I'm gonna be drafting a PowerPoint presentation for Wednesday night. Crystal, is there a projector and stuff? I could bring a laptop. Is there a projector there?
If you bring a laptop, I'll be there and I can help set that up for you.
Okay, and then can I send out the presentation tomorrow to the group for comment? Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
but they have to
Well-
respond to you individually. They can't do a reply all and send, they can't do reply all and send group emails.
Okay. I will do that.
All right. I mean, you.
Okay,
can
any
send it out
other
to the group.
comments?
The group just can't reply all to respond to you.
Right. Everybody hear that? Any other comments or questions? Okay. For everybody, Jordan and I know we have another meeting, so we can't make it. Hopefully,
Oh, dear.
everybody else, if you can come, support the effort. Okay. new
Unfortunately, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't. I have dress rehearsal for the choir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Everybody do their best.
Besides sending letters, was there like an ad placed anywhere to let the general public know about this, or just the Facebook post?
Not that I recall,
Okay,
and no,
Yeah, there's nothing out of our budget to place an ad. So
yeah.
it would have just been on the Facebook and the website page. Okay, so new business workshops. Did anyone go to Cacuic and have anything to say about it?
Well, I was there. I was doing a table for Sipwick. It was very well attended. It was at a new venue because the old one was not available. It was a little strange. It was very tight. It was a very old hotel, and it was dated. But there were a lot of people there. I mean, there were over 300 people. I was impressed. And they, as I say, they did a good job, and they covered a lot of different stuff that, as I've said in the past, I think if people can get to it, you should try to put it on your radar, because it not only gives you direction as to what conservation commissions here in Connecticut can and will do, it also gives you the perspective of different towns and different things. For instance, I mean, the gal who did bears, that was one thing. But the beaver dams are a major problem in some of the other towns. And they have a lot more money to do things. And again, it's very interesting, and to give us a wider view of what's going on in other areas in the state. As I say, it was worth it.
Anyone else go to any meetings? And is anyone aware of any meetings coming up in the next month?
Don't
Okay.
think so.
Hey, then we're up to open discussion. Beth, anything to add? That says no. Lori?
No.
No. Crystal?
two quick things. Beth, I'm at work right now. Do you want me to go ahead and email the other two selectmen about the meeting before I go?
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, Lee, as far as the website, I mean, do you want that letter posted on the Conservation Commission page? I mean, right now on the website, it's just there, like it's a calendar item.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
The letter that Beth drafted?
Yeah, I mean, right now, the only thing on the website is, I put it on the town calendar, Conservation Commission public event. But there's
Yeah.
nothing that would say like what it is or anything like that.
I think it's
Yeah.
a wonderful idea, but it's 2 days away.
Yeah, but we can still do it.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
please. Thank you.
Okay, so is it just that exactly like word for word what's on that Facebook post that Jean posted? Like,
Yeah, just if for more information about the Eversource Resiliency Project. Yeah, her Facebook post was kind of long.
okay, do you want to
So-
send me the letter, or I'll just make something up, like, Conservation Commission is holding.
I'll send you something right now. Just a little 2 sentences is what you need. right?
I'll put that on the conservation page of the website before I leave tonight.
Okay, thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
Jim's lip syncing.
Nope.
Yeah. Jordan,
You did that too.
nothing from Jordan. Pam, anything?
I'm just wondering, can we put it on the Facebook pages of Proud and Loud that there'll be this meeting on November 30th, especially if you live on either 171 or 169, you might be interested in being there.
Jean shared it 6 days ago. I saw it on either
was
Proud
gonna-
or Loud
yeah.
or both, but definitely, it should be shared again.
Yeah,
Yeah, it said Yeah, so Jean's note for the old business says, Winnie picked it up and she shared it on Woodstock Loud and Proud and the commission webpage. So it has been shared.
Yeah, we should, maybe just as a reminder again, tomorrow. and-
Yeah, absolutely wouldn't hurt. Yes. Agreed. Grace?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay. Pam's phone, we'll give you one last chance to chime in if you need to. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order? And, oh, so next month's meeting, is that on the 26th, Grace?
Wait a minute. December. No, it's on the 12th.
Next month's meeting is on the 12th, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
town hall is Closed on the 26th.
Okay,
Yes,
so everybody take
that's-
note of that.
All right.
The meeting is in
It's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Jeez.
Do you think that, do you think that's necessary? Well, I guess we should do it just to get follow-up for the Eversource.
Yeah.
meeting.
And besides which, if we don't, then we'll have to go through hoops of getting it off the calendar.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Everybody be ready to be back here on the 12th.
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn? No, so we'll just stay here
Motion.
for a while. No, no. Jim-
Yeah,
Jim
really.
raised-
No, I
Jim
motion
raised
to
his hand,
adjourn.
I
and
second.
I
Lori
motion.
seconds.
Lori, okay, Lori motioned, who seconded?
No,
I did.
Jim motioned and Lori seconded.
Okay, Jim and Lori.
Yes.
Okay, and it's 7:39?
7:39, yes, correct. So
Okay.
thank you, everybody, for coming and have a good 2 weeks. Be back in a couple weeks.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
All right.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.